introduce our next guest, Eleanor Bron. Eleanor Bron has been one of the protagonists of our 2006 interview marathon with Rem Koolhaas, so we are very, very excited to welcome Eleanor Bron to this year's marathon. She's a writer and actress. Her trajectory started in satire in the 60s and continued in both comedy and drama in film, theatre, television, but also radio. Among her many films are Help from 1965, Bedazzled from 1967, Women in Love 1969, and The House of Mirth 2000. Her writings include several books, comedy scripts, and also song cycles. A very, very warm welcome to Eleanor Bron.
Hello. I thought I would read a few poems by one of my favorite poets, who is an American who doesn't seem to be terribly well known over here, but he probably is. I just don't know that. And I came upon, his name is Randall Jarrell. He died in the late 60s. I came upon this poem by him which I hadn't come across before, and as it was rather appropriate to the occasion, I thought I'd read it. It's called In Galleries. The guard has a right to despair. He stands by God being tickled by the Madonna. The baby laughs and pushes himself away from his mother. The lines and hollows of the piece of stone are human to people. Their hearts go out to it. But the guard has no one to make him seem human. They walk through him as if he were a reflection. The guard does not see them either, you are sure. But he notices when someone touches something and tells him not to. Otherwise he stands blind, silent, among the people who go by indistinguishably, like minutes, like the hours. Slowly the days go by. The years go by quickly. How many minutes does it take to make a guard's hair uniformly grey? But in Italy, sometimes a guard is different. He is poorer than a guard would be at home. How cheap his old uniform is, how dirty. He is a fountain of Italian. He pulls back a curtain, shows you where to stand, cajoles you back to the Ludovisi throne to show you the side people forget to look at. And exclaiming hopefully, vivaciously, bellissima, he shows you that in the smashed head of the crouching Venus, the untouched lips are still parted, hopefully, vivaciously, in a girl's clear smile. He speaks and smiles, and whether or not you understand Italian, you understand he is human and still hopes. And smiling, repeating his bellissima, you give him a dime's worth of aluminium or aluminum. You may even see a guard who is dumb, whose rapt smile, curtain pulling back, place indication, plain conviction that he guards a miracle, are easier to understand than Italian. His gestures are full of faith. When at last he takes a magnifying glass from the shiny pocket of his uniform and shows you that in the painting of a woman who holds in her arms the death of the world, the something on the man's arm is the woman's tear. You and the man and the woman and the God are dumbly one. You say, bellissima, bellissima, and give him his own rapt, dumb, human smile, convinced he guards a miracle. Leaving, you hand the man a quarter's worth of nickel and aluminum. Another poem by Randall Jarrell, which takes place in a supermarket, called Next Day. Moving from cheer to joy, from joy to all, I take a box and add it to my wild rice, my Cornish game hens. The slacked or shorted, basketed, identical food-gathering flocks, ourselves I overlook. Wisdom, said William James, is learning what to overlook. And I am wise, if that is wisdom. Yet somehow, as I buy all from these shelves, and the boy takes it to my station wagon, what I've become troubles me, even if I shut my eyes. When I was young and miserable and pretty and poor, I'd wish what all girls wish, to have a husband, a house, and children. Now that I'm old, my wish is womanish. That the boy putting groceries in my car see me. It bewilders me he doesn't see me. For so many years, I was good enough to eat. The world looked at me and its mouth watered. How often they have undressed me, the eyes of strangers, and holding my flesh within their flesh, their vile imaginings within my imagining, I too have taken the chance of life. Now the boy pats my dog, and we start home. Now I am good. The last mistaken, ecstatic, accidental bliss, the blind happiness that bursting leaves upon the palm some soap and water. It was so long ago, back in some gay 20s, 90s, I don't know. Today I miss my lovely daughter away at school, my sons away at school, my husband away at work. I wish for them. The dog, the maid, and I go through the shore on varying days, at home in them. As I look at my life, I am afraid only that it will change as I am changing. I am afraid this morning of my face. It looks at me from the rearview mirror with the eyes I hate, the smile I hate. Its plain, lined look of gray discovery repeats to me, "You're old." That's all. I'm old. And yet I'm afraid. As I was at the funeral I went to yesterday, my friend's cold, made-up face, granite among its flowers, her undressed, operated on, dressed body were my face and body. As I think of her, I hear her telling me how young I seem. I am exceptional. I think of all I have. But really, no one is exceptional. No one has anything. I stand beside my grave, confused with my life that is commonplace and solitary. Leading to another poem by Randall Jarrell is the poem by Rainer Maria Rilke. Jarrell translated some poems, and I thought I would be quite bold, really, if Hans-Ulrich is still listening, and say in German the poem which I eventually tracked down as the poem that Jarrell didn't directly translate this. He created what he called a variation on this poem. Because people so often say you can't translate poetry, but it would be such an awful pity if we didn't sometimes try. This one is to be said when someone's going to bed. Ich möchte jemanden einsingen, bei jemanden sitzen und sein. Ich möchte dich wiegen und klein singen und begleiten, schlaf aus und schlaf ein. Ich möchte der Einzige sein im Haus, der wüsste, die Nacht war kalt. Und möchte horchen, herein und heraus, in dich, in die Welt, in den Wald. Die Uhren rufen sich schlagend an und man sieht der Zeit auf den Grund. Und unten geht noch ein fremder Mann und stört einen fremden Hund. Dahinter wird Stille. Ich habe groß die Augen auf dich gelegt. Und sie halten sich sanft und lassen dich los, wenn ein Ding sich im Dunkel bewegt. Now, I'm not sure if I understood that entirely, but it's quite a tender poem, and I think the poem the variation on it that Randall Jarrell made is lovely. If I could, I would sing you to sleep. I would give you my hand to keep in yours till you fell asleep, and take it away then, slowly. I would sit by you and be. In the world, the dark would be deep. I would watch, and at last I would sleep. But if rain should star the stream of your sleep, I would whisper, see, you are asleep. And slowly your breath would change in your dream, till ages and ages deep in the dark, you would say to me, I love you. I love you. But I am here always. Sleep now. Sleep. Moving on to heaven. Here are two poems about heaven. One is by Jenny Markham, who's a lovely poet and a friend of mine. It's called A Kiss. In the dark, saying goodbye, I would kiss you on the lips and begin to cry. Imagine for once a good outcome for death, that heaven really does exist. At the gate, all the people that you love, waiting for a kiss. Another poem about heaven by an Irish poet, Helen Waddell. I shall not go to heaven when I die, but if they let me be, I think I'll take the road I used to know that goes to Sheer Nagara and the sea. And all day breasting me the wind shall blow, and I'll hear nothing but the peewits cry and the waves talking to the sea below. I think it will be winter when I die, for no one from the north could die in spring. And all the heather will be dead and grey, and the bog cotton will have blown away, and there will be no yellow on the wind. But I shall smell the peat, and when it's almost dark, I'll set my feet where a white track goes glimmering to the hills, and see far up a light. Would you think heaven could be so small a thing as a lit window on the hills at night, and come in stumbling from the gloom, half blind, into a firelit room, and turn and see you, and there abide? If it were true, And if I thought they would let me be, I almost wish it were tonight I died. And some poems have a wonderful ability to express the inexpressible and the questions that are so hard to answer. This is, and it's also, I think, if one can give someone a piece of music or a poem, it's practically the best present that you can give, except of course for a piece of art. This was a poem that I came to know through a poet called Sean O'Brien, who selected it as one of his favourite poems. It's by a woman from Northumberland called Katrina Porteous, and it's called If My Train Will Come. If my train will come, quietly in the night, with no other sound than the slow creak of wheel upon wheel. If huge as a house, but brighter, crouched at the edge of the fields like a steaming beast, it is waiting down the deserted road. Though the colliery gate and the church where my mother and father were wed are all grown over at last, and the people I knew there dead now. If a stranger alights, and holding my breath, I see that he has your eyes, your hair, but does not remember me. And if there follows a girl with my face from years ago, and for miles by the side of the track the Durham grasses blow. Oh, if my train will come, with its cargo of souls who have passed over this world to find me, will I go? Will I want to? And penultimately, since Hans-Ulrich invoked Cedric Price, I think this is a poem that Yeats might have written for Cedric Price, although he was probably writing it for himself. It's called A Coat. I made my song a coat, covered with embroideries out of old mythologies from heel to throat. But the fools caught it, wore it in the world's eyes as though they brought it. Song, let them take it, but there's more enterprise in walking naked. And finally, a poem that was written for Cedric Price, or inspired by him. It's called A Meringue Has Been Arranged. Let me be folded into you gently, like sugar into beaten white of egg, leaving your life still with as much air as possible, but just a little sweeter.